After coming across an article by Mark McMurtry, where he detailed the growing of vegetables and fish in a closed system, unlike any other I came across, I decided to explore the potential of its use once again in Africa. While doing his PhD, Mark developed his system here in Africa. Known as IAVS, Mark's system was brilliantly simple and perfect for use in our tough conditions. Given the recent issues around food security, population growth and poverty we are facing, long before the COVID crisis and power outages we currently face, there could not have been a better time to look more closely to see if we could replicate his success. After reaching out to Professor Mark in the US and Gary Donaldson from Australia, they welcomed the inquiry and were very supportive, with advice and comments on the ideas I had. With a background in fish and fish feed, I naturally leaned towards the fish part of the system, which meant my thoughts and designs were skewed. While Mark humored me, he asked that I do not use the term IAVS when discussing and sharing my ideas as it differed too much from his original system. With no name, but a system that was born here in Africa, the term Afriponics seemed appropriate. I had had a small test system set up in Johannesburg, up and running successfully for about a year, so started looking for funding and a suitable site where I could scale the model. Unfortunately, without sufficient data and a system, at that stage nobody had heard of here, we could not get off the ground here in South Africa. A colleague and friend, Maxwell Ruzande, said we should try Zimbabwe. He has some networks in place and we began putting the project together. A few flights later and many hours on the road, we had a location and agreement in place. Therefore, since the first trial system in 2015, we finally broke ground in 2017. As it was to turn out, Mark and Gary's fears of me developing a parallel system, which would not work and could taint the perceptions of IAVS, were unwarranted. As when we accurately compared our actual grow bed size and fish water volume, our system was the same as that of IAVS. Afriponics was now up and running and Mark McMurtry's model was back on African soil, some 30 years, since its inception in the mid-1980s.